Hey there, it's Latrina with Plant Food Rocks, where we promote the benefits of a plant-based diet because science has proved that plant food can reduce the onset of cancer and kill sickness. That's why I say plant food rocks. And before we get into today's video, I want to encourage you to go over to my website at plantfood-rocks.com and sign up for my emails and weekly newsletters. They come out every Tuesday, and I share just little tips and information that can help you if you're interested in following a plant-based diet or just living a healthier life overall. So I hope you'll go over to my website and sign up for that. And we are into the fall months and focusing on some of those yummy comfort foods to help us with these cooler temperatures. And what is more comforting than chicken noodle soup? Except, you know, I'm a vegan, so it's not going to be chicken, but it will be our unchicken noodle soup. Simple recipe. So let's get to it. The first thing I need to do is prepare my chicken, which is going to be made with extra firm tofu. That will be sauteed with some soy sauce, salt and pepper, and a little olive oil. And then we'll bake that in the oven at 200 degrees for 30 minutes. The remaining ingredients include carrots, celery, rosemary, some minced garlic, onion, lemon juice, vegetable broth, and a little more olive oil. And then of course for my noodles, I'm using rice noodles. The recipe calls for small soup pasta, but I'm going with what I have in my pantry so that I don't waste any ingredients. So now we'll just get everything ready to prepare as a soup. Starting off the saute of onions. I'll let these saute for a couple minutes, and then I will add the other vegetables. I've added the minced garlic, the celery, the carrots, and some rosemary to the sauteed onions. And I will stir these around, let them cook for about 5 minutes before I add the remaining ingredients. It's time to add the pasta, and my broth was a little low. So I'm going to add the remaining broth here and let my pasta, which I'm using rice noodles, boil. Okay, now the final steps are for me to add my tofu that I baked in the oven. I actually baked it for a little longer than the 30 minutes in the recipe. And I'm adding that. This is my chicken for my chicken noodle soup. And the other ingredient that I did not include that I forgot to mention is the corn. So I'm just adding a can of corn to the chicken noodle soup. Mixing this all up in here. And here's the finished product of our chicken noodle soup without the chicken and the tofu instead. But it's looking very much like chicken noodle soup and maybe a little heavy on the corn, but I think the flavor is all there. So here's the final product. You can probably see that steam coming up there. It's still pretty hot. You can barely see my noodles because I use the rice noodles, and I just want to say feel free to use whatever noodles you prefer. A lot of times people like to use the egg noodles or the wide flat noodles. I think those taste really great, but I don't eat eggs, so I didn't see that. I didn't see another variation to that in the store today, so I decided to use my rice noodles at home. Rice noodles cook really fast, so I think that the next time I do this, I'll just add them a little later because I think they stay in the broth a little too long. But I still think that I have a good tasting soup here, so let's see. It actually still has that chicken noodle flavor just because of the broth and the seasonings that help with chicken noodle soup without the chicken. And the only thing that I would do differently as well is just need a little more broth, but it's in here. But because my noodles cook so fast, it kind of soaks up the broth. But other than that, it's got the celery, it's got the corn, I see the carrots, and then I have my chunks of my chicken, unchicken, with the tofu there. That was a fuller bite with everything. It's really good. So there you have it, my unchicken noodle soup. I hope you'll try a variation that works for you. And please let me know how it goes and how it turns out, because I would love to hear your feedback. In the meantime, rock on.